Welcome, friends. It is Wrestlescope, and no, your eyes do not deceive you. I have a guest in the house. That's right. We are here to do NXT Takeover in your house predictions, and I am joined by the legendary, the man, the myth, the legend, Adam Pearson. Adam, how are you doing, my friend?
I am doing fantastic because it is hot as balls here in London today. But never mind that, we're here to talk some wrestling and what on paper appears to be a very strong card.
Absolutely. I would agree with you. We are talking NXT TakeOver in your house, which takes place tomorrow night on WWE Network outside of the US and the Peacock Network here in the United States. As always, before we get started, please like this video, and we should get a lot more likes because of who my co-host is today. Okay, we should be getting a ton of likes because of him. Also, subscribe to this channel and hit the notification bell so you can be updated every time we have something brand new. And we'll get all of Adam's socials out a little bit later so you can follow him as well. But Adam, like you said, it's a stacked card. It looks like a fantastic show, though you and I were talking prior to the stream, and I think this is kind of the agreement of everybody. It's a great card, but the build for this show has been kind of lackluster.
Some of it has been thrown together. The last minute making of the 5-way was a little bit old school, dare I say, a bit carny. But if it's a great match, I'll take it. The genius bit of booking was the addition of Ted DiBiase to this whole Cameron Grimes persona. That's been exquisitely well done. I think LA Knight, formerly Eli Drake of Impact, is the exact right person to be rolling with Cameron Grimes at the moment. But everything else just feels super quickly thrown together. It's going to be good, and the less we talk about that media call, the better.
I think we will stay away from that media call because it was one of the more interesting ones. So let's just put it that way. We'll leave that one alone. Many other people have talked about it. I'm going to stay away from it. Let's go ahead and talk about probably the least interesting match of the night, at least for me, is Xia Li versus Mercedes Martinez. And we've seen a little bit of build for this one. Mercedes Martinez, we saw she got her shot not that long ago against Raquel Gonzalez for the NXT Women's Championship. And Xia Li, we've seen this transformation over months with her. Just this very cryptic, kind of dark, strange thing happening going on with her, almost a fiend type thing happening with her in the background. And it really came to fruition 2 weeks ago where, the lights went out on Mercedes Martinez, and then she had the mark on her hand. And now we get a match between these two. And I'm looking at this one, and I really don't know which direction to go because Mercedes Martinez has been part of the rumors that have been going around about Muscle coming into the main roster with Eva Marie. It's between her and Piper Niven from NXT UK. I'm leaning towards Piper Niven. I think that's a better fit right now. But Xia Li, they've been kind of building this whole thing with her, and who could really afford to take a loss here right now? I would have to lean towards Xia Li in this match. It's going to be a good match. It's going to be a hard-hitting match. We're going to see some unique things, but I'm almost thinking we're going to be seeing kind of that cryptic, almost supernatural kind of whatever thing they're doing with this involved in this match. I have to lean towards Xia Li in this one, though.
I completely agree, leaning completely towards Xia Li. And I think there will be, as you say, some cryptic stuff. Though I don't think it will be as balls to the wall ridiculous as the Firefly Funhouse was. I think it will be quite subtle and quite well executed. But I also think it will mean something. I think it will either be the payoff or feed into a bigger payoff. I don't think they'll do it and then forget all about it, like I think they may do if this was a Raw or a SmackDown show. Mainly Raw, though. SmackDown does a lot better with its consistency. But I love this new Xia Li character. I think it's so well put together. I think they took it slowly, they took it steadily, and I think this match is the start of a real strong push for Xia Li.
I would certainly hope that if there is the supernatural kind of things, that it's not the Alexa Bliss, I'm going to bring out a doll, fire comes up all over the place. I would sincerely hope that Triple H is staying away from that kind of thing, and that it kind of stays with the character build of this, that maybe it's just lights go out, a little bit of smoke, a distraction, and Xia Li gets the win.
Yeah, I would wholeheartedly hope that would happen. It's like maybe the mark plays into it somehow. Maybe the mark lights go up and the mark changes mid-match, and that represents something, but we don't know what yet. And that is the build going forward.
I like that. That would be it would play off of what we saw 2 weeks ago on NXT with the mark showing up out of nowhere. I like that. All right, we go on to 6-man tag team action. It is Bronson Reed, the North American champion, and MSK, the NXT tag team champions, taking on Legado del Fantasma in what could easily be match of the night. I think these 6 men, with what they all bring to the table, could bring something absolutely amazing. But the key to this is it's a winner-take-all match. So whichever team wins will gain the North American Championship and the NXT Tag Team Championships. Now, Bronson Reed just won that North American title match, that championship. I can't foresee them taking the belt off of him quite yet, but Santos Escobar, it makes a lot of sense for him. The next inevitable step for him on his way either to a main roster call-up or to the NXT Championship is winning this belt. And MSK, it's been talked about a lot over the last couple of weeks. They have not exactly been received the best by the NXT fans, so their time in NXT may be short-lived, though I can't see the title switching hands here, but then again, I can. This is probably the hardest match of the night for me to call.
I agree. By far the hardest one for me to call. But I think it does come back to the fact it's far too soon, particularly with Bronson, to take that title off him, because the North American title has flip-flopped a lot. Keith Lee held it, then he relinquished it, then it went backwards and forwards between Damian Priest and Johnny Gargano for a while. And I just think if a title changes hands too much, it starts to lose credibility, where the belt makes the guy and not the guy makes the belt, which should always be the right way round that equation goes. And I think the MSK thing is just going to be a slow build. I think the harder they work and the more stellar matches they put in, the warmer the reception will be from the NXT crowd. And let's not also forget, we're not at full capacity for crowds yet. We've had this weird 18 months just in wrestling in general, where we've got no idea who's over. None at all. We know who we think is over based upon the noise that they pump in and what the Thunderdome are directed to do. But I think once we get a full capacity crowd back in, I reckon MSK will be over like Rover. And this match will certainly help. This is going to be balls to the wall, super fast paced. I think Bronson Reed's there to give it a bit of pacing and to be the guy that comes in and slows things down and takes control and gives it that ebb and that flow and that high and that low that good storytelling is always supposed to have. So I'm going to give it to MSK and Bronson Reed.
I'm going to agree with you there, because I think there is obviously a future long-term feud between Bronson Reed and Santos Escobar. I think Escobar is going to be the guy, if he doesn't get called up to the main roster in the next 2 months, he is going to be the guy that is eventually going to take this belt off of Bronson Reed. MSK and Legado del Fantasma, we know they can put on great matches together, and the NXT tag team division is really starting to come together now with Toothless Timmy and Old Man Ciampa, and obviously the Grizzled Young Veterans. And Everrise, you have to think Everrise is going to be in there somewhere, getting away from their comic things. Breezango's still out there. You've got Drake and Killian Dane. You still have Imperium, the 2 members of Imperium that are left, minus Walter. So I have to agree with you. I think just by the skin of their teeth, the champions are going to hold on to this, but the feuds are not over quite yet.
I agree, and I think this opens tonight as well.
And we've got Elliot Fletcher chiming in. Yep, they're going to keep the belts on MSK. Grizzled Young Veterans, maybe that's the team. Maybe it's GYV's time is coming. It should have happened already. I thought coming out of the Dusty Classic that they were going to be the guys that were going to end up winning the tag team titles, but they didn't. I have to agree that is going to be possibly the takeover at SummerSlam. Maybe that's where it's going to end up happening. I think we're going to see a number of title changes at that pay-per-view, at that takeover. But I'm excited to see what's going to happen. Now, a match that people have been split on this one. They're either excited about this or they think it's crap. I think it's going to be fantastic as well because of we talked about it before, the 3 personalities involved in this. It is a ladder match for the $1 million championship. It is LA Knight versus Cameron Grimes with the $1 million belt above the ladder. You can't see my ladder. I've got it here. And is Ted DiBiase, I'm assuming he's going to be in attendance at this match. I haven't heard.
I think it would only make sense, bearing in mind the physical presence he's had in all the vignettes and what have you. And also, whether he's in the building on the night or not drastically affects the confidence I have in my pick. Because my pick is based upon him being there.
So are you thinking that Ted DiBiase is going to be involved in the outcome?
I absolutely think Ted DiBiase is going to be involved in the outcome. Otherwise, what's the point of having him there? If you look at the LA Knight vignettes, they're all centered around kind of money, fame, prestige, affluence. And what is Ted DiBiase's catchphrase? Everybody has a price. Including Ted DiBiase himself. I think Ted DiBiase screws Cameron Grimes.
I would have to agree with you. This would be the final screwing over of Cameron Grimes. We get to see at the end of this match, you've got Ted DiBiase holding the hand of LA Knight with that belt. And after they leave the ring, you've got Cameron Grimes lying on the mat. Ted DiBiase! And you've got him chasing after this belt then. It makes absolute perfect sense. I would agree. I think that's the way to go, though I have to wonder how long is LA Knight for the NXT roster, because to be perfectly honest, I liked Eli Drake in Impact Wrestling, and I liked some of the things that he did in NWA before the shutdown. This LA Knight character just is not transferring over to NXT. I think it would do well on Raw, but it's not working here in NXT.
It stands out a lot as a character because it is such a big character. Everyone else is sort of like like Adam Cole. Oh, how do they make me look special? They ring the bell. Whereas LA Knight is so heavily character focused. And it's good character work. I've bitten on every single bit of bait LA Knight's put out for me. Every single thing he does pisses me right off, and I love it. So yeah, great character work. And if we have gotten the ending that we think is going to happen, what better way to make him just the biggest prick in NXT? Not only to like screw over someone, but people are just in love with Cameron Grimes right now. Cameron Grimes with the music videos and the catchphrases and just his brilliant comic timing is ridiculously over.
And they always say, what is it that makes the money in wrestling? It is the babyface chasing after the belt. It's the chase. It's not the babyface holding off the contenders. It's that eventual build to winning the championship. And like Elliot says, Cameron Grimes has got to come out on top eventually. If that happens, he will. Cameron Grimes will eventually somehow come out on top of this and maybe not be the $1 million champion, but he's going to end up getting the last laugh on Ted DiBiase and LA Knight somewhere down the road.
And I look forward to seeing it.
I look forward to as well. So you and I both agree it is going to be LA Knight. He is going to be the 2021 version of Stone Cold Steve Austin, or the Ringmaster, coming out. And hopefully this will be the big build for him in a move towards the main event roster. Now on to the NXT Women's Championship. It is Raquel Gonzalez, the defending champion, taking on former champion Ember Moon. And we have kind of seen a little bit of a build over the last month to this match. And I think this makes sense as far as a challenger right now for Raquel Gonzalez. If there's anything lacking in NXT, it is really contenders for that women's championship. But just the way they've built the storyline over the last few weeks, Ember Moon absolutely makes sense as the one to be going against the champion. Do I think Ember Moon's going to win? Absolutely not. I think they are leading to, it is going to be Raquel Gonzalez and Dakota Kai splitting up. It is going to be Shawn Michaels and Diesel all over again, except this time you've got, well, realistically, Dakota Kai is in the Shawn Michaels role here. And she'll be the one that's going to end up somehow, some way taking the belt away from Raquel Gonzalez down the line. Ember Moon, she's going to get a couple of close shots here, but Raquel Gonzalez walks out again as the champion.
Completely agree. This is it's still a match, isn't it? Not taken away from Ember Moon and her ability in the ring, and I'm sure it's going to be a really, really good match. But it is just a stop on the way to either the Dakota Kai match or maybe Candice LeRae.
Could be Candice LeRae.
That would be great to me. I'm a huge fan of The Way. I think they are possibly my favorite thing on NXT because they're smarmy, they're pretentious, they bring the twattery, and as someone who is also smarmy, pretentious, and likes a bit of twattery, I feel a real kindred spirit to The Way. No, I think, yeah, it's going to be a mauling, ultimately. I think it's going to be a really strong, decisive finish.
Yeah, and I would certainly hope that it is. No offense to Ember Moon, but Raquel Gonzalez needs that right now. She needs that. Let Ember Moon get some of her moves in, but really at the end of the day, let Raquel Gonzalez look like the dominant force that she is, because that's what they need. She needs to be much like Shayna Baszler when she was the NXT Women's Champion. She looked dominant no matter who she was taking on. That's what they need to do with Raquel Gonzalez to build her up.
Completely. Make her look every inch of badass. Give her the Brock Lesnar treatment. Make it close, but ultimately, when that final bell rings, everyone should be like, yeah, that was probably going to happen the whole time. I want if I'm not scared of her by the end of the match, then you haven't built her properly.
That's right. Elliot jumping in. I've got Shotzi or Dakota to take the title off of Raquel. I think Shotzi is going to be the next challenger after this. We're going to continue on with the Dakota Kai, Raquel Gonzalez beating up on Ember and Shotzi Blackheart. Shotzi needs to come back and have a little bit of retribution for some things. So I think she'll be the next challenger on the way to that big match at SummerSlam.
I want Shotzi to get absolutely destroyed in that match.
Oh, she will.
Every now and then. No, but I mean proper Lesnar Cena SummerSlam destroyed.
Ooh.
Every now and then, adults as well as children need a reminder that sometimes your dreams don't come true, and it isn't even close.
The Prince of Darkness, Adam Pearson, leading in there. All right, we go on to the main event. This is going to be an absolutely crazy match. An NXT Championship Fatal 5-Way. You've got the champion, Karrion Kross, taking on Adam Cole, Pete Dunne, Kyle O'Reilly, and Johnny Gargano. You've got two former champions in this match. You've got five of the best wrestlers in NXT. This is a match that was really just kind of thrown together out of nowhere. I think creative may have come up with, well, we got a champion. We got all these other guys. We don't have anything else for everybody else. We can't do Cole and O'Reilly again. Let's just put them all together. And obviously, Karrion Kross has not been the greatest NXT champion, though his match with Finn Balor was phenomenal. It really was a good match. But where does he go from here? Adam Cole comes back and is just the epitome of Adam Cole, baby. Pete Dunne is Pete Dunne. Pete Dunne is just fantastic. And Johnny Gargano can wrestle around anybody there. I don't know which way to go, because I've been hearing the rumors about Karrion Kross getting called up already and everything. And if he loses this title, he is going to be on SmackDown within the next 3 weeks if he loses the belt. But who out of this group is going to be the one that's going to come up with the victory? Is Adam Cole going to be a 3-time champion? No. I mean, it would lead into his character. Johnny Gargano doesn't need it again. It's not Kyle O'Reilly's time yet. Could Pete Dunne be the one that sneaks away with a win here, which would probably be the biggest surprise out of everybody?
As a fellow Brit, I would mark the hell out if Pete Dunne won. I'd be like, yes! I'd run around the house, I'd hold the dog up like it's the start of the Lion King, and just go, Bruce away to Pete Dunne. It would be amazing. So I've got to stop booking my own finishes, because I'm always really upset when they don't happen. I'm part of the problem Triple H was talking about in the media call.
We weren't going to talk about that. We weren't going to talk about that.
That's all on him. It's a segue. Leave me alone. I think Karrion Kross retains. And then he's doing the whole celebrating in the ring, fall and pray. Then out of nowhere, Samoa Joe chokes him out.
Well, there have been those rumors, and Wrestle Talk had it today on their news that there's been a lot of talk backstage of a lot of people wanting Samoa Joe to come back. And I would pay big money to see Samoa Joe versus Karrion Kross and have Samoa Joe be the guy to take the belt off of Kross. That would be a phenomenal match.
And what a good way to bring Joe back. I reckon if they bring back Samoa Joe at the close of NXT Takeover in your house, I will happily take back 1/3 of all the nasty things I said about Triple H this week. A whole third.
Just 1/3. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to hold you to that. Boy, maybe that could be the big surprise we're waiting for. I like what Elliot says here, though. He's got Pete Dunne. Roddy is going to come back and screw Kyle out of the title as he's about to win. So we have the complete, absolute implosion then of Undisputed Era, because, Roderick Strong, he walked away, didn't take sides between Cole and O'Reilly. He's gone. I don't think that happens, though. I don't think that happens here, because you're adding another guy into this mix. I like the Samoa Joe call, but boy, I think Karrion.
Add another guy into the mix. That means there's 6 guys now involved.
Uh-oh.
And then they can have the first ever NXT Elimination Chamber.
Ooh. Or they come up with a different name for it. Maybe it's not Elimination Chamber, but they come up with a different name for it. I like that because, we know AEW is coming out with some unique. They're trying to come out with some unique things with Fight for the Fallen and Fyter Fest this summer, and with crowds coming back. Elliot jumping in again. Roddy aligns himself with Adam Cole, and Bobby Fish aligns himself with Kyle again. I want Red Dragon back together again. I need Red Dragon back together again. And
give me Red Dragon and MSK. Give it to me now.
Yes. Or Red Dragon and Legado del Fantasma. Or Red Dragon versus Toothless Timmy and Ciampa. Or
Grizzly Young Vets.
Yeah. My goodness. Vets. Yes. All right. So I'm gonna. Hi, Omizzy. We see you. I've seen you there, buddy. I'm gonna go with a Karrion Kross redemption here. I just think they're not ready to pull the title off of him, and I'm gonna cross my fingers that Samoa Joe either comes back tomorrow night or Samoa Joe is here on Tuesday night and makes his presence known. One of the two nights he's here, and it sets up for Joe versus Kross, which will be an absolute slugfest.
If Samoa Joe turns up tomorrow night, I will call your house and scream down the phone at you. I will find where you live. I will find the number, and I will just be like, "It happened."
I will DM you my number after we get off the air. So are you going with Kross as well as for a retention?
I'm going with Kross.
So we have agreed across the board here on everything. So thankfully we have nothing on the line here. I don't even have the belt here anymore. The belt is somewhere. I don't know where the belt is. It's hiding somewhere. I've been kind of disillusioned. I've been disillusioned with the good
egg. I'll put Super there. I'll put Super
Okay, wait, hold on. I will give me a second here. I have to get the belt. I know where it is. It's right here. It has not come out in weeks.
There you go.
All right. There. The champ is here.
Wrestlescope putting his dick on the table.
Hey, whoa! Hey, wait a second. This is a family show. Watch out. This is not like Sean Ross Sapp. We don't have a swear jar here, so you get away with one. I don't have to worry about monetization on this channel yet. But
it's your boy's name.
That's it. Yeah. All right. Well, Adam Pearson, let me get your information up here. Do you have anything coming up that you want to share with people?
I have nothing immediate coming up, but a lot of things happening in the background as far as the TV and film stuff goes. COVID just put a big, massive red sign on everything. So I'm getting out and about a bit more. If you want me to come and do some diversity and inclusion training for your company, I can absolutely do that. That is my new venture that I set up during lockdown because I am cool and also a glutton for punishment. Apparently.
That right there, you can see it right below me here. That is where you can find Adam Pearson on Twitter at Adam Pearson. And look who's in the house. It is SP3. Yes, woo! SP3, one of the true good eggs, one of my favorite people on earth. SP3, your turn is next, man. You and I are gonna do something together very soon, or maybe the three of us can do something together very soon. Lucas with another comment here real quick. No, Karrion Kross will not beat the hell out of Roman Reigns after what Roman just did to Dominic Mysterio, which was one of the most unbelievable endings I've ever seen to a SmackDown.
I said this on SP3's stream today. If you haven't seen the True Heel Heat show from today, go and watch it. Even by the usually high standards, today was a real highlight for me. I just put in a chat, oh my god, Roman Reigns just killed a child.
Well, keep in mind that child is 23. He's older than Louis Dangor. I would pay good money to see him do that to Louis Dangor, who is still a child. Did I actually say that on air? Oops.
fine. I love you. I love you, Louis. You're still my guy. But that was an amazing yeet. That was just like, yes.
Yeah. That just built up to his character. Well, again, Adam Pearson, thank you very much for joining me. This was on very short notice. You actually reached out to me this morning, and I greatly appreciate it. You have made my day. Thank you very much. Again, please give Adam Pearson a follow on Twitter. He is always entertaining on Twitter, and, of course, any place else he ends up showing up on screens all around the world. Thank you very much, my friend. I greatly appreciate it. And don't hold our feet to the fire here on our predictions because, hey, we know we're going to be right. We're going to be 5 for 5, but we're not going to gloat about it too much. Well, then again, maybe we will.
I will write music. I will fly planes over people's houses. I might even get a tattoo that just says 5 for 5, baby. We'll see how it goes.
Oh, yeah, we'll get that 5 for 5 tattoo right there. And that'll be our catchphrase. All right, thank you very much for joining us. I will be back later this weekend. I will be doing a Wrestlescope Weekly. I'm just trying to figure out the timing on it right now because I've got an absolutely crazy weekend. I actually have to leave here in about 60 seconds to take my daughter somewhere. So I'm heading out. Adam Pearson, thank you again, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to Wrestlescope. Give this video a like, a subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can be notified every time we are on. Thank you very much. Enjoy NXT in your house, and we'll talk to you later.